Yeah. Turn the page, light the way. Every word we read, we play. Write it down, let it flow. Watch your mind and dreams just grow. Open up a book, let's take a ride. Words like magic come alive. Flip the pages, feel the beat. Every story's got a world to meet. Letters turn to words, words make sound. Put them all together and we break new ground. Knowledge is power, you hold the key. Reading unlocks what you're meant to be. Turn the page, light the way. Every word we read, we play. Write it down, let it flow. Watch your mind and dreams just grow. Grab your pen, make your mark. Write your story, leave a spark from A.
Good evening, afternoon, happy Sunday to everyone. I am Katina Taylor. I'm the founder and executive director of Dreams KC. I am joined here today by a great author, a friend, a sister, a fellow Black African-American children's book author. Her name is Krystal Wadlington. We are so excited, aka Krystal the Creative, you all. Yeah. Welcome, welcome. I hope your Sunday has been treating you well this far. How you doing?
I'm good, and thank you so much for allowing me to do this with you.
Yeah, it's really just, I was trying to figure out a way to celebrate and spotlight other children's book authors who are African American during Black Children's Book Week, and it actually ended on the 1st. However, I was like, people still need to see us. They need to know us. They need to know about our work. And I try to kind of put my time, my money where my mouth is. I don't want to always be asking people to support me. I want to also be giving and supporting others as well. And so I said, what other way can we, what better way can I do that than to just introduce credible authors who are making a huge impact in children's literature. And boom, boom, here you are. I'm actually going to pull up on the screen. There it is, y'all. Y'all see that? I hope you all do. So this is the amazing Krystal Wadlington. As I said before, I love, love, love that picture of you, as well as your books, the Bold Leaders series. If you all are interested in purchasing books, learning more about her work and her books, you can scan that QR code. I encourage you, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, wherever you are, to like this broadcast, to share this broadcast, to tag other people in the broadcast so they too can learn about this amazing African-American author and the work that she is doing to empower our children beyond Black History Month, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm going to get started by asking you some questions, and we just going to let it rip. So tell the folks a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to write children's books.
Well, my name is Krystal. As you know, I am a mother of 3 boys, a wife, and I'm also a teacher. So I've taught elementary school, different grades, and I've also taught art. But what really inspired me to start my books was, as a child, I've always had this love for Black history. I've always wanted to learn so much. And there was never anything taught in schools beyond a couple of leaders that
the same ones all the time.
Yes, the same ones all the time. And so when I started teaching here in Kansas City at a school that focuses on teaching African history and Black history, and I started seeing how these kids that were learning were just, their confidence was a little higher, they moved a little different. So I started, as I was teaching, I noticed there weren't very many resources for younger kids to where they can learn about these people and also color, because I'm an artist. So I started making coloring sheets for them. I started drawing the people, and I put a little, biography thing up there for them, and they loved it. So I put it into a book, and one book turned into 2, turned into 4. So
I love it. So one, new information for me. I did not realize you were an artist. I knew you were a teacher. I did not know you were cutting your teeth and sharing your gifts at ACE. I'm assuming it's the African Centered School
Yes,
here in
yes.
Kansas City. So I am so excited. I too taught at ACE at one point in time,
Okay.
the elementary school and the high school. And my niece attended ACE from elementary until she graduated as well. So we have a rich history in our family in terms of ACE, and African centered education is certainly something that we support. Um, so you all see at the bottom of your screen, we have the link there. So visit Amazon if you want to see what books she has available. You said it went from 1 to 4.
To four Bold Leaders books. I have 3 more books that I've done that's not part of the Bold Leaders, but I have
Oh,
4
okay.
Bold Leaders books. Yes.
So I think you already addressed the Bold Leaders books, is that you wanted children to be able to see themselves, learn about other African American historical figures,
Yes.
and understand and know that they can too be great. I think is what I'm hearing you say. And I love the fact that not only are you writing, but you're illustrating. So that kid that has a love and a desire for art, they can learn from you. Or a
Yes.
kid that wants to tell stories, be it fiction or nonfiction, they can learn from you. I love that. So that is awesome. So what age group or what grade levels are your books? Who do they serve, basically?
My books are generally for elementary age kids. So I I made the pictures very simple, and I
Mhm.
did that purposely because kids, they just, they like to color, but they don't need all the extra details. So, and
Yes.
then I made written it so that students who are learning how to read or at early readers, they can get it read to them. It's very brief. And then students that are reading on their own, they can read it themselves. So it's really for, like, I would say 10 on down, but I've had middle school kids and who have colored the books, and adults who have
Yes.
said, I'm gonna buy this for one for me and one for my child. So
I love it.
for all ages.
So, how many? So, in your Bold Leader series is 4 books. So, we're gonna talk about your other books too.
Okay.
So, do they cover like inventors, business people, scientists? Like, how are they captured in each book?
I have, my first book was Bold Leaders in Black History, and that is just really just leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, the Black Panthers, Marcus Garvey. So I included leaders that they may have known about, and then
Mhm.
some that they have not heard about, like
Yeah.
oh, it's escaping my mind. Frederick Douglass,
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that. Thurgood Marshall. So then my second book is Bold Leaders in Ancient Africa, and that is focused on African kings and queens. So
Love
that's
it.
the one most people will be like, well, I didn't know this. And, we think about the Egyptian kings and queens, but we don't know about Queen Amani Rena, who is in the kingdom of Kush.
Okay.
Or, so then that's the second one. And then the third one I have is the Harlem Renaissance, Bold Leaders of the Harlem Renaissance. So that focus on that era. So we have the authors, the artists, the poets, the
Yeah.
dancers. And I include that just because I'm an artist. I love the Harlem Renaissance.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
feel like it's important for kids to learn about that time. And then my fourth one is Bold Leaders in STEM. So that focuses on scientists and inventors,
Love it.
mathematicians, and things like, and astronauts, and
Yes. Will
those
you
are the
do
four.
any? So one, I love the fact that depending on the child,
Mhm.
they can truly find themselves. Meaning, if they're creative, they can go to the Bold Leaders of the Harlem Renaissance and they're going to find someone that does something creatively like they enjoy doing.
Yes.
The kid that is like you, that loves history, they can go to the Bold Leaders in Black history and learn about those that have shaped our world, and changed our lives, right, for generations to come through their work. Or those that like science, technology, engineering, math, you name it, they can go to that Bold Leaders in STEM, etc.
Mhm.
And I love absolutely love the fact that you included the bold leaders of ancient Africa, because far too often people forget we existed before
Yes.
slavery,
Yes.
right? And so our story doesn't start with slavery. It's just one chapter in our history. And
Mhm.
so I love that you took them back and say, what before that, era in
Yeah.
history in these United States, we existed, and these are the
Way
things we
before.
did. Yeah, and these are the people that you should know. Do you have, well, I'm not gonna ask yet because I got so tell
Okay.
me about the other books. So you have the Bold Leader series, but you have other books as well. So tell us about those.
I have I created a book that talks about Kwanzaa.
Okay.
So that's one of the books. It's more like it's a little different than the Bold Leaders, where it's like kind of like a story. It's about two kids that are going celebrating Kwanzaa with their family. It's still a coloring book, but they're talking about what Kwanzaa is and kind of the history of that. And then I also have another couple of books, and these were very dear to my heart because these were the ones I was gonna start with,
Uh-huh.
but these were my latest. They're called the I Am Who God Says I Am. And
Okay.
they're like biblical affirmations. So one is for girls. So all the pictures have little girls in there, um, all different races, all different looks and things. And then the other one has all boys in there. So,
Yes.
and that one is just teaching kids that you're not who people say you are. Because it's sad when you teach kids and you hear them say things about themselves that you like, why would you think that? And
Yeah.
so this is just for them to just know that you have a purpose, you're here for a reason, you are great, and these are things that they can say to themselves. Is
Absolutely.
I am loved, and it has a Bible verse that goes with that.
Yeah.
So you're not who people say you are. You're not who where you came from or who your parents are. You are who God said you are and who God made you to be. So those are the my latest two books that I have.
Well, I will tell you, I'm thrilled to hear about those, because there was a period of time where my oldest grandson was having some challenges at school. And I remember going to the school and picking him up.
Mm.
And when we went to have breakfast, and we were just kind of talking and processing what was going on. And I said that he needs to hear something positive about himself. Got on YouTube, and I'm searching and searching for something that was kid friendly that he would understand at the time. And I found this thing. I was like, these are the things I want you to say to yourself every morning before you go to school. And it was things like, I am a king. I am
Yes.
this. I am that. And he, in all honesty, he looked at me. We're on 71. And he said, I'm a king. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, you are. And forgive me if I hadn't told you that before today.
Yeah.
You know? So our children do need to hear those things. We talk at them, right?
Mhm.
We talk to them. How often are we talking with them and giving them the tools at a young age that will carry them through the rest of their lives? So whenever they
Yeah.
get down or upset or they make a mistake, because that's all it
Mhm.
is a mistake,
Yeah.
opportunity
Mhm.
to learn. They cannot say, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I can't, all those things. I
Yeah.
get it. I taught for 15 years, so I know exactly what you're
I
talking
hear that a
about.
lot, and I do not like hearing that at all.
Yeah, but they can say, no, 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 this was just a mistake. I
Mhm.
am this, I am that, and those positive things. So thank you. Thank you for doing that for our children. They absolutely need it, both our boys and our girls. What impact do you hope your books have on young readers?
My biggest impact is just for kids to see that, like I said before, you are not where you come from, and the words that you speak, it starts to get in your mind that you are great, that you can be bold, that you can be a leader, that you can see these people that have done something, and it's not necessarily the loudest person in the room sometimes that makes the greatest impact. Sometimes you can just be kind to somebody, and
Yeah.
just to know that you are, like I said, here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. You're here to be a leader. You're here to be bold, and just to get some type of inspiration that they did this, I can do this too.
Yes.
And then with my other books, just knowing, like I said, that you are just great, despite the
Absolutely.
things that are happening around you.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it. And I would hope also that they instill a love of reading
Yes.
eventually. That
Love of learning
love
too.
of learning. Yes. More importantly, yes, across all content areas for sure. So I love that. And I think you've already answered this question in terms of the themes and the messages. I don't think we need to go over it again. How do your books support literacy development? Because I am a staunch literacy person
Mhm.
and or classroom learning. So I know we talked about it in terms of like the themes already, but you may have kind of answered this too, because you talked about the way in which they're written, simple. So for
Mhm.
the youngest reader, really to the older ones as well, that it incorporates their coloring so they can express their creativity. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, with coloring, one, it also helps with like cognitive development. When
Okay.
they're coloring and they're using their hands, it helps with that. It helps with the gross motor skills for like the younger students. So the coloring can help with them being able to hold a pencil and write their name and things like that. But also, my books help because I get a lot of teachers that buy my books.
Mhm.
And so I just recently, this really just came out yesterday. I've made a teacher's guide for my Black History book. So in
Yay.
that book, it helps in the classroom, and even homeschool parents, you can get that. And it should be available on Amazon now as well. It gives you different ways that you can incorporate these coloring pages into literacy,
I
into
love it.
writing, into math, into science. It gives you book ideas. So, like, you can introduce the person, but you can also read a book that talks about this person, or you can do an activity that enhances their writing. So, for example, like Ida B. Wells is one of the persons. She was an editor of a newspaper. So
Right.
you can learn about her and then have the students write a newspaper article, an opinion piece about something that's going on in their community that they feel like should stop, because that's what Ida B. Wells wrote about,
Yes.
bringing attention to lynching. So that's kind of how my books are with the classroom, with literacy, just kind of infusing it into that core curriculum, as far as with teachers being able to do that, or homeschool parents, or parents, if you want to do it at home, that's fine as well.
Yeah, I
So
love that because active or learning should be fun. It should be engaging. It should be hands on. It should be
yes.
cross curricular, meaning touching different content areas. It should address, or children should have an opportunity to address their different learning modalities, right?
Mhm.
And it seems like what you have put together and what you have done through your work is exactly that. It is nothing better than an educator on a mission. Because,
Yes.
baby, you will pull it all in
Pull
together.
it all together. You can't teach one thing at a time, because you
No,
you don't have time to do that.
you
You know,
don't. You
you
do
got to put
not.
it all together. Yes. So
Yes, I absolutely love it. Congratulations on making the teacher guide. You
thank
are one of
you.
the things also I will say is, oftentimes teachers are overwhelmed. You talked about it. We don't have enough time. They are supposed to be teaching specific standards, but what they don't understand, and I think what you have been able to do, is you'll meet the standards if you just are a good teacher, right?
Yeah.
If you
Mhm.
use these types of tools and resources like your books, like the being featured in a teacher guide, they have an opportunity to really expand the way in which they teach, create experiences for their students
Yes.
that
And they
they'll
learn
never
more when they
forget.
have that experience. Instead
Yes.
of you just talking to them coloring it, and then them seeing a picture of the person and them relating it to their learning,
Yeah.
it creates an experience for them that they retain more of
Yes.
that standard.
And
Yes.
good teachers know that, y'all. If you
Yes.
don't know now, you know. Two educators are telling you. One is actively in the classroom. I'm formally in the classroom for 15 years, in the space for 25. I'm telling y'all, we know what we're talking about, okay?
Absolutely.
So, what other products or services do you provide? Do you do professional development and show teachers how to use your books?
That is something I am wanting to start, because like I said, I just published this teacher's guide. So that's gonna be my next kind of venture I'm going into is to start trying to get into schools and doing professional development or doing speaking engagement with schools. So that's something I'm starting this year.
I love it. I'm excited. And that's why I said it, because oftentimes I think also educators think that all of their time has to be spent in the four walls of the classroom. And if that's their choice, of course, we need them there, right? We need you all there. But the other thing is, how can you amplify, scale your gifts so that you're hitting not just the students you teach every day, but you're ensuring or supporting other teachers or parents, and making sure that we kind of have this united message that learning is important, that it can be fun and engaging, that if you do the work, you'll see the results, all the things. And so I want educators to be able to see themselves outside of that space if they so choose. So I love that you are going to be working with other educators. How long have you taught?
This is year 14 for me.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. Yes, I love it. So I think I've already said Amazon. Are there other places? Do you have a website where people can follow you and make purchases?
I have a website. It's www.krystalthecreative.com.
I'm ready to put that on the screen. So you keep talking.
Yeah, I usually give people Amazon because, that's sometimes, they got the Amazon Prime. They want I want free shipping. I'm like, okay, well, you can go to Amazon, but you can also come to my website.
There you go. You said it's krystalthecreative.com.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yep. There it is. Yes.
And there you can find just different things about me, different things that I've done. I've also illustrated a book for somebody, so you can find I haven't put that book on there, but you can find like other services. So if you are an author, I've had people come and say, I'm writing a book, I need an illustrator. And so this past summer I illustrated my very first book for somebody else. So that was
I will tell you, I'm in several Facebook groups, and there was just a question yesterday from someone who had authored a book and was looking for an illustrator. I need to build kind of a directory or a go-to list of folks so that I can make those referrals so that you can continue to use your gifts to support other authors. And I'm going to tell you, now I am not an illustrator, but I have, let me see, my short vowel series, AEIOU. I have Kyla Meets the Bees. I have the beginning reading sound constant. So I have 7 books now.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And so, but I've used AI tools. I've used a 16-year-old illustrator before. So I always like to support people through my work as well. So as I think about what's on the horizon, I think this is a great opportunity to possibly collaborate and partner. I'm excited.
Yes. I also help authors. Like I've had authors come and they're asking how to publish. So I have done consultations, just talking about my process of publishing and different things, and I've helped authors do that. And I did a coloring book for somebody else too.
Look at you.
Victoria Wears a Mask. Yeah, she turned her book into a coloring book. So I did a coloring book for her.
I know Miss Victoria Barbie. Yes.
She's amazing.
She is a phenomenal woman, actress, author, you name it.
She's amazing.
Yes. That is so funny. Kansas City's such a small place for sure. We definitely need to talk more. So you already know it's coming. I'm telling you.
I'm ready.
And I love that. And perhaps there's another teacher in KCK. It's a male teacher, Black male, but he's also working on a book. So maybe I can make that connection for you as well.
Okay.
I love it. All right, let's keep going. So any other so I know you're going to be doing consultations. You're going to be doing some illustrating work. You're going to be doing some PD work. You might have to come out the classroom. I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna receive that.
And then again, I might smack my hand, Katina, because we are in a significant teacher shortage, and I don't want good teachers to leave our kids, because if we're all gone, then who is there for them, right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna say whatever God has for you.
That's what I'm gonna say, because I promise you, when I started this one book, I did not expect any of this. So whatever God has for me, I'm here for it. I'm
Yes,
ready.
I
I'm
love it.
ready.
I love it. Do you have any other books coming out anytime soon?
I have some books that I want to add to the Bold Leader series. Like when I first started, I had made a whole list of things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I've just been other things. So I think this year I really want to focus on doing a Bold Leaders for the Negro Leagues is one I want to do. I want to work with the Negro Leagues
I was
Museum.
just going to say, like, I'm so strategic. I'm like, that's
Yes,
an
I want to.
amazing
I
book
want to work with the Negro
right
Leagues
there.
Museum and do a book for them. I want to do. I recently moved to a new district,
Okay.
and I'm teaching third grade now, and I have a lot of Hispanic students at my school and in my class, and so I was like, September is Hispanic History Month. I want to do a book for them. So, and then I had people ask me, can you turn your affirmations books, put it in Spanish? I'm like, okay, well, that may be something I'm gonna do. So it's
Yes.
just a few things that I have in mind to do.
I'm
That
getting
I
my pen out because I got to take some notes here. Now I'm just gonna come back and watch the video. But let me say this to any of you that catch the replay or see this: if you know Bob Kendricks at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, please connect him to Krystal.
please,
Because in my mind, I'm like, that'd be you write the book, you get the book there. Wouldn't it be an amazing way for both the Negro League Baseball Museum and you to benefit? Like, hey, this book is here. So, some of the proceeds can go to support the continued work of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. We have thousands upon thousands of visitors each and every year. Schools take field trips, all the things, baby. So I'm excited about that. And then if anybody is watching and they know Edgar Palacios, Laura Palacios, the Latinx Education Collaborative, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, like y'all name it, work with Krystal. She has a mind to serve all children. She's in a new district that has a high population of Hispanic or Latinx students. So she may need some collaboration, some support from you all. So I'm putting it out there. If you put it in the universe, hey, it's going to come.
I'm ready. Contact me, please. If you go to my website on that first page, there's a contact form down at the bottom. You can send me things. And if you are any schools or anything that would like me to come and speak to your students about entrepreneurship or history or things like that, then please contact me, because that is where I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to do. That's my next goal, is to get out from behind the vendor table and start working with groups of students personally. Yes,
absolutely. I love it. So I think we've already talked about this. Can people find you on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn.
Can they find you on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And my sister been pushing me to do TikTok. So I started a TikTok.
Okay.
So it's all under Krystal.the.creative. That's who I am on social media.
So she is consistent across all platforms, you guys. Krystal the Creative. Krystal.the
creative.
I want to just run it all together. .creative. But if you put in that search bar, Krystal the Creative, she will come up. Follow her, support her when she has new projects coming out. Purchase them. School districts, buy them in bulk. Are your books in the library?
My books are not in the library simply because they're coloring books, and I don't think that they were. The way that they're set up, I don't think it was where they can check them out, because I have spoke with the library before.
I will say this: I tutor sometimes, and so I spend a lot of time at the Plaza Library. But every day they put out different coloring pages for children who are visiting the library. Perhaps you can make some copies. I don't know. And say, just share these, if it's like, I don't know, Women's History Month is March, right? So maybe some of the women in your books, just some samples. And then if people inquire, they can, you can buy the book and you'll have all of them. I don't know.
We'll do that. I did not know they did that.
They do. I love them because I also like Sudoku and crosswords, and they will put them out, and then I get an opportunity to grab some, and I can do those with my grandchildren as well. So yeah, I love it. All right. If you could leave parents, grandparents, teachers, or even young readers with one message as we wrap up this amazing Black Children's Book Week celebration, what would that message be? And wait a minute, even before you answer, just take a moment to pause and think about it. I'm spotlighting you because they don't need to see me. They need to see me from you. So let me spotlight you. There you go. You up there.
Okay, so one message I will leave. This is the message I always give. It goes back to this Bible verse my dad taught me when I was a kid. Because I was so very scary. It's very fearful. It was God has not given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. So I always tell kids and parents and anybody that comes across my books to, one, be bold in whatever you're doing, show love to other people, and also to make wise choices. So that's my message to everybody, the message I want my books to give to kids, to children, and adults everywhere. So
I love it. I love it. Thank you so very much. This has been amazing. You all, coming up next at 3:00, I will be back with our last actually author in this celebration of Black Children's Book Week. Is Dr. Lamont Muhammad. He's the only male author that I've had the opportunity to interview. So what a befitting way to close this out. He too, like Krystal the Creative, I think writes books of empowerment, the I can, the I am, all those positive things. So if you are looking for an opportunity to get in your hands, read with your children, to your children, have your children read, and really deposit into their spirit positive things about themselves, check out Krystal the Creative. Come back and listen to Dr. Lamont Muhammad. He is amazing. He's done a workshop that I participated in. Never thought I had some bars, but I walked out of there feeling like I had some bars. I tell you that. So what I will say is thank you. Thank you so much for saying yes, taking the opportunity, and just coming on and sharing your gift, not only with me, but our city, our state, our nation. I'm speaking that into existence, our world.
Thank you so much.
Our community. I love this work. I love the work of literacy. My mantra is, once you learn to read, you are forever free.
Absolutely.
Frederick Douglass said that. That is 10 toes down on that. That is something that cannot be taken from you. And I love education. Everything I do is centered around really education. So thank you again. I'm gonna close us out. I think I'm gonna do this by putting back up our little song. Did you like that song at the beginning?
I did like that song. Is that your song? Or
I will tell you, those of you that are interested, you want to learn. I did this yesterday in anticipation of us just being together today. I used some AI tools. And I was able to get the lyrics done, and then actually I use another tool to actually put it together with the music. And this was the end result. So
I loved it. It was a great
I'm not
song.
afraid of AI. I embrace it.
AI is great.
Ramp up my productivity.
You gotta learn how to use it.
Yeah, and creativity. So with that being said, I am going to close us out by letting people see that again. And thank you again. Have a good rest of the day. We are going to talk soon.
Okay, I can't wait.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Turn the page, light the way. Every word we read, we play. Write it down, let it flow. Watch your mind and dreams just grow. Open up a book, let's take a ride. Words like magic come alive. Flip the pages, feel the beat. Every story's got a world to meet. Letters turn to words, words make sound. Put them all together and we break new ground. Knowledge is power, you hold the key. Reading unlocks what you're meant to be. Turn the page, light the way.